What is up, guys? It's me, Falco Z, on the Falco2Z channel, and welcome to part 4 of the review of Naruto original series. Don't know what else so hard for me to say, but we're here, not exactly moving on from the story, but as I said in part 3, we're going to discuss Gaara's backstory and ideals, and the aftermath of the invasion of the Leaf Village and Orochimaru versus Sarutobi. So let's start with Orochimaru versus Sarutobi because I basically finished that in my previous video. They were struggling for a while, but then eventually and unfortunately Sarutobi dies, but he was able to stop Orochimaru from ever doing another jutsu again, because he can't do any hand signs because he can't use his arms anymore. So basically, you know, he's now just a sausage. Can't really do too much. Don't know why I said sausage, but meh. Well, Orochimaru is definitely forever weak and will never do anything bad again. Let's move on to the aftermath of invasion of the Leaf Village, just because Gaara's backstory is the main thing I want to go on. So basically, obviously, the Sarutobi, the third Hokage, has died. So they have a funeral for him. Everyone in their suits, you know, gives him flowers, respects him and all that. We get a bit on Kakashi. I remember he's with this girl and they're talking about stuff. Don't remember exactly what they say, but you know, it's cool to see. I guess maybe later in like Shippuden, Sarutobi and Kakashi's relationship is like shown a bit more, like in the past, you know. But anyway, we can see Naruto's clear sadness about the situation because obviously Sarutobi was like his granddad, and you know, someone he like looked up to, was kind of close to, and you know, unfortunately passed away. Like, and obviously he's like the leader of the village, and you know, he's taken out by Orochimaru. So me and the boys hate Orochimaru.
Yes!
And yeah, we gotta find a fifth Hokage. Alright. And now, moving on to Gaara's backstory and ideals. So, Gaara's very like for himself type thing and doesn't really value human life. Throughout the Chunin exams in the Forest of Death, just killing Sound Ninja like it's nothing. Trying to kill Lee, but not only did he try to kill Lee in the first part of the third part of the Chunin exams, or part 3A as I like to call it, when Lee's in the hospital, Gaara literally tries to go to his room and kill him, but luckily Naruto and Shikamaru are there to protect him, and Gaara gives a bit of his backstory to him, but he doesn't really make it clear. He kind of just makes it clear that he lives for himself and just doesn't really value anyone else and tries to get stronger and stuff. Very dark, very spooky. But now specifically onto his backstory. Gaara, as a young kid, you know, kind of just wants to be recognized. Like, he didn't really even annoy anyone, right? He was just a nice boy. He just literally tried to help people. There were these kids playing with a ball. Then he used his sand abilities to like get their ball, give it to him, and they were like, run away from him. Just very rude. Literally treating him like Naruto.
Aww.
Like, obviously Naruto was still a little bum, you know, like graffitiing the Hokage faces, but like Gaara is literally just a chill boy, like not really hurting them too much, but they're just like, nah, frick him. Then we cut to like Gaara and Yashimaru, who's his uncle, his mother's brother, and him basically telling him that, like, you know, it's rough for him, like, this is how it is, teaching him about love and stuff, and like, you know, being nice to people, which he already was, but it's cool to get some like assurance from a figure like that, because Gaara's dad is the Kaze Kage, so you know, he's pretty busy, and his mother unfortunately passed away when she had Gaara, but the spirit of his mother through the Shukaku is living in Gaara and protects him from any damage he takes, so he's never really felt pain. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a point Okay, spoiler warning. Not spoiler warning. Danger warning. If you don't like explicit things or things to do with self-harm, then skip forward a bit. Hopefully I put a kind of timestamp. But basically I'm pretty sure I remember he tries to like cut his wrist or something. It might be in the manga, but tries to like harm himself. But the sand protects him. So it protects him from anything. So he hasn't really felt pain. So he doesn't exactly know it. And there's like, Yoshimaru is also telling him about like emotional pain and like pain in your heart that like you can't exactly just fix. So yeah, I think it's a very, interesting bonding moment. Then Gaara tries to give medicine to oh wait, I'm so stupid, I forgot. With Gaara and the kids, when Gaara got the ball back, when they ran from him, Gaara tried to like say no, come back, and he accidentally hurt one of the kids with his sand abilities. Thank goodness he didn't kill him. That would have been very traumatizing. But after his talk with Yoshimaru, Gaara tries to give the kids some like medicine or some healing thing. I don't exactly remember. But the kid just takes it and just closes the door. Or just says no and doesn't take it. I forgot, one of those. Anyway, Gaara's just like at a place, just, being depressed because everyone hates him. Very sad. Then, Ninja pops up on him, throws like some kunai at him, I assume, and then the Shukaku spirit, blocks it with the sand, and then Gaara uses his, I assume just sand coffin to basically kill him. But like, he didn't get crushed, so kind of just used enough of his sand ability to like kill the guy, but not exactly like, crush his whole body. But as this guy was dying, Gaara takes off his like mask, and it turns out it was Yoshimaru. And bro, the second I saw it was Yoshimaru, I was just, maybe people might have expected it, but bro, I was so freaking sad. I really was just like, no, Gaara, he does not need this. And it just turns out that Yoshimaru has always hated Gaara because he killed the only person that he loved, which was his sister. Oh my goodness, so depressing. Just, I guess technically Yoshimaru might have been like hinting at that by talking about pain in your heart, because he's had to just like live and protect the guy who killed his sister, but like that's still his nephew, and like Gaara just killed his uncle, and it's just really rough. And that's basically where Gaara started to become a killing machine. So it's just, honestly, like, I mean, when I get through the whole series, I'll say like my top 3 backstories, but Gaara's, I'm saying now, is in the top 3. Is very deep. I'm not sure if I mentioned moments that like almost made me cry throughout all anime, but this moment, it was kind of close. It's not the closest one in Naruto. That will come a decent bit later, but it is my favorite. What? No. But this moment is still really good. It's probably just behind that bit, but obviously Naruto has extremely good emotional moments, and this is probably second in the original series. So yeah, that's why I wanted to basically do a whole video on it, but this isn't really a whole video, but mainly on that. Anyway, I finished the tuning exams review last video, but I didn't give an exact like ranking like I did with the first 2. I might put in the description of the video, but as I'm recording this, I haven't actually uploaded part 3. But obviously you would have already seen part 3 uploaded, so it might be in the description. So hopefully I'll remember. I really hope I don't contradict myself. But the tuning exam, I'm thinking of it, like part 1 was cool, part 2 was cool, part 3 had the main bits. I know, it feels weird to put it under the land of waves, but fine, it was cool enough. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. And as for the invasion of the Leaf Village, I'll give that 6 out of 10. It's not like it's not memorable, but just right after the tuning exams, like we had Land of Waves tuning exams, like these are big things. This was obviously still big, but like it's a bit more on the impact, It was kind of short and, had some issues, but yeah, still good, So that means we've had 6,886 so far. So join me next time in part 5 for a review of the Searching for Tsunade arc. See you then.